Okay, so welcome to today's workshop, Go Global with Google's Market Finder. My name is Petia A Abdur Razzaaq, and like I said, I am beyond thrilled to be participating in yet another GSC event as a Grow with Google trainer. For those of you who are not familiar with Grow with Google, it's an initiative that's about 4 years old at this point that helps people across the United States to grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free tools, training, and events, usually delivered in partnership with organizations such as GSE. In today's session, you'll learn about Google's Market Finder, and it's a free tool that can help you to identify new potential markets, discover helpful operational information, and help you also to start to spread the reach of your business, whether it's within your own country or ultimately around the world. This is my contact information. A lot of people like to take a quick snapshot of this slide so that if anything occurs to you after the session that you want to ask me about, please don't be shy. You can send me an email. Connecting with me on LinkedIn is probably the best way that you can get my immediate attention. And I would be more than happy to clear things up or clarify anything that you may have missed during the presentation. So in today's workshop, we have a lot to cover. We'll start by discussing the benefits of exporting, and we'll explore exactly how Google's Market Finder tool works. And some of the things that we'll be focusing on is how it can help you to explore markets, plan operations, and advertise your business to a global audience. As always, we'll finish with a recap and additional resources, and hopefully have some time for some good Q&A. Off, let's go over some of the reasons to consider exporting. Today, nearly 5 billion people are online around the globe. The opportunities to find and engage with new customers are limitless. What's key here is that customers aren't necessarily concerned, as you might think, about where a business is based anymore. What they care about is whether or not they're happy with the product or service that they receive. In fact, one survey found that 96% of people who used the service Booking.com had no idea that the business was actually located in the Netherlands. And of those people, 90% of them said that knowing that fact ahead of time would not have affected whether they used the service or not. So with an online business, you naturally have the ability to expand globally, and being online, of course, makes it quicker and easier than it ever has been before. Simply put, exporting can strengthen your business. Exploring new markets puts you in the position to attract new customers, which can lead to business growth and more revenue. In addition, small business exports contribute significantly to the U.S. economy. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Technology Engagement Center, that's U.S. Chamber of Commerce Technology Engagement Center, exports generated $541 billion in output since 2017 and supported over 6 million jobs. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, 96% of consumers actually live outside of the United States. So with that in mind, think about the potential for growth if you expand, even if you're thinking of just maybe one additional market outside of the U.S. Global markets open up access to sources such as a new base of customers, or to give you an advantage over your domestic competitors. You may also get access to a multinational talent pool, as well as government incentives for businesses investing in certain countries around the world. So these are all things that you should be thinking about. Let me go back one. So the message here is that it no longer takes years for a business to go global. Even if you're a really small company in an unusual sector, don't be discouraged. 2 out of 5 companies with fewer than 10 employees are already doing business in at least one high-growth market internationally. Think about some of the companies that we all use and love, like Spotify, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb, and Tinder. There were originally really small companies that all took the same first steps that you will have to take if you want to expand your operations globally. Selling overseas can help your business in a variety of ways, including increasing profits and, of course, giving you a competitive edge. It can also help you to spark innovation. All in all, selling globally can boost your business profile both at home as well as abroad. Feel free to take a snapshot of this slide and reflect on these questions later if you'd like. The answers you come up with will serve as the foundation of whether you will make the decision to expand your business in global markets. And I'll just leave it for another second or so that you guys can take a snapshot. Now, I know you probably have a lot of questions about selling globally. The great news is that Google's Market Finder can help answer many of those questions for you. Market Finder uses details from your business's website to recommend markets where consumers are the most likely to buy your products based on search data. You are then able to use the insights into the recommended markets to help you to create or form a marketing strategy to reach those customers in those specific locations. The tool also offers advice on operations, such as taking payments in new markets, shipping, customs, licenses, and of course, legal considerations, which are extremely important to the ultimate success of your business. Let's take a few minutes to watch this video overview of exactly how Market Finder works. In a second, let me go full screen so you guys can see it. Here it goes.
Google's free Market Finder tool can help you find global markets to export your products to. Market Finder uses Google's unique data insights to help businesses make informed decisions about international growth in a matter of seconds. John has founded a juice store. Market Finder can help John to discover potential export markets, develop a marketing strategy, and understand the operations of every step. John gets started by entering his website URL. Market Finder scans the website and identifies relevant categories for John's markets based on the products that he can export. Combining the product categories with Google's unique data insights and search volume metrics, Market Finder selects the 3 markets with the highest export potential for John's business. John creates and completes his profile, selecting and confirming the key export markets in order to delve deeper into the metrics and logistics of each one. John explores the market insights to discover key information about each market, such as the country, economic, and online profile. Using Market Finder, John can easily compare each potential market to his current one. The insights can show how much people earn on average and the number of monthly searches for juices, as well as the ease of doing business in that market and the logistics of exporting. This information allows John to benchmark each market against his existing one and plan his market export strategy. John has analysed the potential new markets for JuiceBiz and now wants to plan his operations. John uses Market Finder to understand which payment method is best for the German market and search for a payment provider that can help him export to this market. After setting up his operations, John wants to discover how to reach the right audience in Germany. He uses Market Finder to create an international marketing strategy to support his advertising and measure his success abroad. Guides, articles, and case studies tailored to his business objectives are at his disposal, and John can learn about popular keywords with data sourced from Google Trends. Just one of the useful tools and services available to him. With the help of Market Finder, John can create great campaigns for his new market. In response to COVID-19, we made a global COVID-19 hub to help businesses like John's optimize their performance. This hub has various resources, including consumer and demand insights, operations best practices, daily updated market trade measures from International Trade Center market analysis tools, and more. All the information that John needs to export successfully is now in one place. Google Market Finder. No matter what you sell or where you sell it, find new customers abroad and take your business further. Get started today.
Okay, so hopefully that gave you guys a really great idea of how Market Finder can help you to get the information that you need to expand your business globally. So getting back to the presentation. To further demonstrate how the tool can be used, let me introduce you to a small business called Strider Sports. Now, Strider Sports is an example of a business that used global exporting as a pathway to growth. The company founder, Ryan McFarland, modified a child's bicycle into what became the Strider, a pedal-less balance bike that even young toddlers could use. As you can see in the picture, this adorable little boy looks like he's about 2 or 3, right? And what this bike does is that it helps a toddler to actually balance before they learn to ride a traditional bike. So the bike received lots of interest from other parts of the world, and Ryan sensed that he was on to a great business idea. So in 2007, he launched Strider Sports International, Inc. And just 2 years later, Strider Sports started exporting products to Japan. Today, Japan is actually Strider's largest international market. So how did he do this? Strider used Google tools such as Google Analytics, Google Ads, and YouTube, of course, as part of their global expansion strategy. Now, Google Ads drives nearly 30% of the company's online traffic, and its YouTube videos have generated over 10 million views. Ryan says, the beauty of the internet is that even from the most remote locations, you can still be connected to the whole world. Once you've decided to export, there are 3 major steps that you need to make. First, you have to determine where the best market for your business would be. Now, a recent Google Business survey found that 70% of small and medium enterprises said that they lacked the skills needed to find the best overseas markets to enter. The second thing you need to do is to plan your operations. And if you're like 61% of exporters, you'd like some specific knowledge and support about how you should go about doing that. Finally, you need a solid marketing strategy to help you scale your brand and expand across borders. With this in mind, what we'll do next is explore all 3 of these steps and go over some tools that can help you to succeed or at least make the correct starting decisions at each. Strider Sports used a lot of digital tools to support their export plan. In this next section, we'll discuss some specific tools that you can use to do the same. First, let's get familiar with the tool itself. If you'd like to follow along live, you can go to g.co/marketfinder and follow me over the next few slides as I walk you through the intro steps for becoming familiar with the tool. If not, you can do so on your own time and just listen along right now. So once you've navigated to Market Finder, the first thing you will do is type the web address for your business. On this slide, you can see a large bar where you type your URL. And we can see that Strider Sports has done so. Next, of course, you hit continue. Market Finder will then search for and analyze the details from your current website to recommend the best markets for you to consider. After you've added your business web address, you now need to click Get Started. Now it's time to review the tool's suggested business categories. These recommendations will reflect information based on the popular online searches and, of course, the content on your website. Market Finder will use this information to lead you to potential markets for your business. You can delete any categories that don't match your business or products, as well as add categories based on the products and services that you offer on your website. The tool shows other possible matches that could increase the number of markets your business can explore. When you're ready to move on, you can confirm these categories. Next, Market Finder will ask you where you're interested in expanding your business. So they're asking you, are you just thinking about maybe expanding to different states in the US, or are you thinking of a more global expansion? For the purpose of this workshop, let's see what happens when you select globally. Here you'll see a list of suggested markets that would be relevant as export options for your business. In this screenshot, the recommended markets are Germany, the United Kingdom, and France. When you hover over each market, it brings up a caption with additional information about the criteria and reasons behind the data, including how many monthly searches occur for products and services in the categories that you chose. You also get insights into how much advertisers are paying in cost per click, how friendly the market is to expand in businesses, this is very important, and how likely consumers in this market are to have disposable income to spend on products and services, a really important consideration when you're thinking of expanding globally. At this point, you'll need to connect your Google account to go further with the Market Finder tool. So the image on the slide shows the Complete Your Profile dashboard. The box has been filled out with Strider Executive, and you will put in whatever your credentials are, and of course, the website address. And the next step will be for you to sign up with Google or sign in with Google. You will then have the option to receive relevant updates and other information from Google about events and research that could potentially help you to continue to grow your business. After you've completed these steps and reviewed everything, click Get Started, and then either sign into your Google account, or if you don't have a Google account at this point, you will need to create one. Once you've signed in, you'll be able to take a closer look at the expanded list of your suggested markets. You can create a short list of up to 3 desired markets. This will make it easier to compare your top choices. From now on, the content you see in the operations and marketing sections of Market Finder will always be tailored to suit the market that you have added to your shortlist. So this will be really customized information based on your choices, of course. Now it's time to dive deeper into the 3 potential markets you've selected. Clicking on Country Profile gives you access to information such as population numbers, languages spoken, age demographics, and currency. And of course, this will all be compared to the US. So you can quickly see how these new customers are both alike and different. On this slide, the country profile is selected, which reveals information on population size for the US and the 3 recommended markets, which, as you recall and you can see, are Germany, United Kingdom, and France. You would click on the Economic Profile tab to get information on data such as GDP, GDP per capita, GDP purchasing power per capita, GDP annual growth. Also, you can have access to household net disposable income, unemployment rates, popular payment methods, and much more. And of course, with all of this data, US data is always provided for comparison purposes. Next, you can see what online behavior is like within these markets. So here are some of the questions that you may have and you can get easy answers to. What percentage of the population uses the internet? How many total internet searches are there per month? And since we all live in the mobile world, right? Are there more Android users or more iOS users? You'll also see recommended bids for Google Ads. That number is an indication of the average cost per click, CPC, for related keywords in your chosen categories. Now, a low CPC means there's a lower number of bidders and less competition. So on this slide, online profile is highlighted, which reveals a bar graph comparing monthly searches across categories among the 3 countries we're interested in, which would be the US, Germany, the United Kingdom, and France. And you guys can feel free as I go along. Some of these slides have some really good information, so don't be shy. You can take snapshots if it will be helpful. So since you'd likely be doing business with consumers in this market online versus a brick and mortar storefront, you'll want to know how they use the internet to purchase products and services. Now that information can be found under purchase behavior, which is highlighted on this slide. And this is what it will tell you. It will tell you what devices people use to research products before they buy. And when I say what types of devices, I mean, are they using their desktop computer, a smartphone, or a tablet? Now, are they using the internet to compare prices or just to read online reviews? Or are they just doing a lot of background information research? Then, what you really want to know is what percentage of the population makes online purchases weekly? Finally, you'll get lots of insights into the logistics of selling in these markets. This will give you an idea of the costs you might incur and the time it may take to deal with, we could all guess what I'm going to say next, compliance, customs, transit, and all of those things that will have a huge impact on your business. As always, you'll see how the US figures compare to these potential markets. Now that you've identified a few potential targets for exporting, let's look at what else Market Finder can do to help you with the operations planning that will be vital if you are going to expand into new markets. There's a lot to consider when expanding, and some of the main considerations would be taxes, currency, and of course, customer care. This will be a really exciting time for you, but planning and paying attention to these key issues will be key to your success. And these are just some of the considerations on the slide that you will have to really evaluate and pay attention to be successful. The good news is that Market Finder can guide you through many of these operational areas that you'll need to consider and tailor the content to match your shortlisted markets. So what you will do is you will click on the operational areas highlighted, and you can see that on the slide. And here you will be able to access the insights into these issues. In the next few slides, we'll take a closer look at some of these topics that you will need to explore. All right, starting with localization. Localization is the one thing you'll want to keep in mind as you export. You will have to do things like make sure that your products fit the language, culture, and customs of your target countries. You also need to know which payment channels are most commonly used in your new market so that you can successfully manage global payments. Keep in mind that different countries prefer different payment platforms. Care is another major consideration. You might even consider working with local customer care agents who really understand the customer needs in your new markets. You also might need a scalable customer relationship management system, usually called CRM, to successfully manage customer care. Logistics will also get more complex once you start exporting. Plan how you will get your customers' requests or the products that they order for you into their hands effectively. And most importantly, how will you handle any possible returns? Again, you might consider working with local logistics companies who can help you to navigate the regulations, transportation, and other requirements for that specific country. You also need to consider recruiting talent in your new market. Having local experts on your payroll will help your products sell better and improve your profitability. Local talent can help you scale because they understand how business operates in their own country. Finally, take care to get informed about taxes, fees, customs, and regulations for exporting. These, of course, will vary country by country, and possible mistakes that can be made can lead to high fees and even legal action, which you definitely want to stay away from. Now, there are lots of articles, case studies, and guides on Market Finder to help you to take a really deep dive into all of these operations planning topics. If you're considering expansion into global markets, here are some additional questions that you may want to consider. What operations topics are you the most concerned about as you plan your expansion? Also, once you become familiar with Market Finder, which Market Finder resources can help you to answer your questions? Let's move on to talk about marketing. How you market your business and scale your brand across borders is a very important consideration as you plan your expansion. This next section will show you how to use Market Finder to better understand how to support and build your brand and marketing strategy. A solid marketing plan has a strategy and an understanding of how to measure performance. When you're expanding globally, trusted partners can be key to getting the most out of your market and advertising plans. On the slide, we see some considerations for global marketing: a global marketing strategy, performance and measurement, advertising, and of course, finding a trusted local partner. So how does Market Finder help you with this? Within Market Finder, you will click the tab that says Market Your Business. Here you will get access to tools, guides, and resources to help you market your business globally. Let's go over a few of the offerings found here. A global marketing strategy is a strategy that encompasses countries from several different regions in the world and aims to coordinate a company's marketing efforts in these specific countries. You can learn how other companies have done this by reading case studies. And the most creative marketing strategy is useless if you can't measure how well it's working. We encourage you to explore tutorials on how to use Google tools and other resources to analyze your performance and results. Now, there are 3 types of advertising that can play a big role in your global expansion: search, display, and video. Market Finder has detailed guides on creating successful campaigns in all 3 of these mediums. Finally, as with operations, marketing your business across the globe may go more smoothly with partners who have experience and expertise in global markets. You can find agencies who have completed all international growth program trainings and met preset customer objectives in Market Finder, which of course is an amazing resource for anyone who has not done this in the past. So today we've gone over some really basic steps for getting started with exporting, including choosing a market, planning your operations, and scaling your brand and marketing. So what's next? Expanding your business and looking towards exporting to other countries, even if your expansion is just expanding further into the US, is a huge step. Today, business is becoming increasingly global, even for tiny businesses. If you aren't doing business in other markets, you're losing out. And chances are your competitors are on their way to achieving that goal if they aren't already here. Taking just one step after today, even if it's just starting to think about how your products might sell overseas and where you might market them, will get you a step closer. So I'm interested to see if there's anyone who has actually done this or considering doing this. I'm interested to see, after learning about Market Finder today, what that one next step is going to be, because we have to have some sort of like action plan, right? Or else you just attended a webinar. What, with the information that we have learned, what is that one thing that you can do if you're considering expanding globally, having learned about Market Finder, that you will do after this workshop? And I would love to see some answers in the chat. Okay, so let's wrap this up with a few next steps. Of course, step 1, if there's a possibility that your business could expand to other markets, you would definitely want to check out Market Finder to learn more about where you might go and the steps that are involved. Step 2, keep learning. I'm about to point out a few more digital tools and tutorials that may benefit you. And if you want to learn much more about all of the tools available from Google, you can just go to grow.google.com to find many, many, many more. There's no shortage of resources for you as you put your personal expansion plan in place. Now that you know about how Market Finder can help, I'm also going to point you in the direction of a few more useful resources that can help with your expansion efforts. If you want to sharpen your business and marketing skills, check out Primer. This is a free app you can download to your phone, and it's available for both Android and Apple devices. Here you can find a series of short, fun lessons that are all less than 5 minutes each. And, it's perfect for, if you're commuting or you just have 5 minutes, perfect for you to just take a look at the app and learn something. You can grow your digital skills no matter where you're located through online workshops. And if you're curious about the additional workshops available from Google, I encourage you to visit the Grow on Air website, and you can get straight to it by going to g.co/growonair. And here you can find more than enough digital training that you can attend on your own time. Lastly, another great resource are Google's quick help videos. And here you can get answers and learn how to make the most of Google's tools in just a few minutes. To wrap things up, Grow with Google is a new initiative to help people prepare for work, find jobs, and grow your businesses. The resources that can be accessed are perfect and customized for job seekers, teachers, small business owners, startups, as well as developers. So that is the official end of the presentation, and we have more than enough time left. Christine, I don't know if you wanted to do some Q&A or just have some discussion, but that's the official end of the presentation.